Easy, Jay, easy.
I'm just joking. Hello, folks.
Hola.
Tonight we are looking at a very, I would say famous, but actually it's kind of an obscure beer called Samuel Adams Boston Ale.
It's a Massachusetts beer review tonight. Special edition.
Yeah, and if you think this one's hard to get, go try to find Samuel Adams Red Lager. Or red Ale.
Even at beer distributors, like my beer distributor, they only have a few from Samuel Adams that they're more on like Belgian beers.
Okay, well I'm going to introduce who we have. I thought some other people were coming, but all right,
Maybe.
they may be. Now we were supposed to have Beer Cub and Michelle Stitches from out west, but they could not find it.
Huh.
They were so irritated. I know Paul in Texas. I don't think he could find it because I did a search of the Houston area and it was not showing. It's strange. Houston is a big city, and there's all kind of stuff you can get, but on the other hand, you cannot get. The Brister said he was going to join us, but he didn't.
Yeah.
What they said.
But who do we have? Myself from Louisiana in the South, and then all the rest is Northerners ganging up on me. From Indiana, we have John. From New York City, we have Poznansky's Beer Reviews
Hola.
with Lee Poznansky. Welcome to our beer group.
Excellent to be here.
We appreciate it. And then from New England is a Friar Chuck from Connecticut. All right, from Connecticut. And we have Eric and Nate Kate from Massachusetts.
Local brew right here.
The original, sort of, location of Samuel Adams beers. And you know why I'm saying sort of.
Because they brew it and bottle this beer all over the country.
Yes, and I was reading this book. I didn't read it today, but I've been reading it every day, called The Craft Beer Revolution, written by one of the founders of Brooklyn Brewing.
Right.
Really good book.
Right by me.
Huh?
Right by me.
Yeah. You're in Brooklyn, huh?
No, I'm in Queens, but it's close.
Okay, I was in Queens last month. And Brooklyn. But now this book is really interesting. It's not so much about the beer, right? Like, you're not going to find out much about the beers. But he's talking about the business of it. And oh man, what a book. He's like he's really going after some people, especially Jim Cook, Koch. He says, well, you know, he makes really great beers, and he's not ripping on that part of it. But he's just talking about his business practices, like when he started. The guy was not like your stereotypical craft brew guy. He was like a Harvard MBA businessman, comes from the the button-down three-piece suit business world, and he just had an idea. And his family was into beer drinking, so he said, I'm gonna get it. This looks like a good business opportunity, so I'm gonna get in on this early. So he got into the Boston Beer Company in '84, '85. But there was a controversy from the get-go with their participation at the Great American Beer Festival, and then people jumping on his case for contract brewing, right? Can y'all hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So
Bing, bing, bing,
they
bing.
didn't really, they called it Boston Lager, but it wasn't in Boston. It was made in different places by Miller, and then he was saying, you know, well, it was just, I don't want to get into it, but it was controversial. You know, it was interesting. But then he kept getting so much heat that finally they opened up a little boutique brewery in Boston, which you can take a tour of today, even though the vast majority of their beers is not brewed there. It's brewed at other places, you know. But this beer was started in 1988 when they opened that brewery.
Now, Jay,
I did not know that.
the breweries that it says on the side of the bottle, do they own them, or were their contract brewed through?
It depends, because they built one in Pennsylvania recently, and I drove by there.
That's theirs?
Actually, I almost drove into it, but I was in the delivery line, and I was like, oh, no.
Now that's theirs?
Yes.
There's the one in Pennsylvania.
There's a sign out in front that says Samuel Adams.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure out how to get to the front entrance, like the tourist entrance. Well, I think they give tours there, but I got confused and I didn't want to get in trouble by, I'm in the line with all these 18-wheelers, and I said, I know I'm in the wrong line, so I just turned around. Yeah. I drove around. You could smell the beer brewing in them. It's not real big. It's kind of a mid-sized brewery, I guess. But it was interesting because I was shocked. I didn't even know they had a brewery in this town right by in eastern Pennsylvania. I was like, what is this? I immediately got off the interstate. I had to go to the bathroom anyway, and I was like, wow. Okay, now this says Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep.
Brinsville, Pennsylvania. So, and it's saying you should visit us at Boston, so I guess the one in Pennsylvania is not open for tours. But some bottles you find, they'll say La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yes, I've noticed that before.
And that's City Brewing, who does a lot of contract brewing. But really, the point of it is, does the beer taste good, right? Isn't that like the main?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I really don't care, like, oh, well, Jim Koch did this and that. I mean, that's really immaterial to me.
He's making money.
Yeah, I mean, if he makes good beer, I'm not, worried about it.
Yep.
Look at his fluffy head, huh?
Mine board.
My head died.
No longer.
Yep.
I still got good lacing, anyways.
Yeah.
Creamy.
Pretty good lacing too.
They had it. I think I wiped it off though.
Have any of you guys not ever had this beer?
It's been some number of years. I don't remember anything about it.
I had it once before.
I had it in 1982.
Woo! Hey.
Wait a minute. You had this beer?
92. I'm sorry, 92.
Oh, I still wasn't born.
Oh, you scared me. All right, John. Now, so everybody's had it.
Yeah.
I
I tried it this past weekend for the first time, honestly.
Oh, okay. I remember back in '96 when I first found out about Samuel Adams. Well, I started drinking beer. They always had the ads on TV, and I said, "Oh, it looks interesting." And they had that Samuel Adams Boston Lager, and they had this one. And then pretty fast they started coming out, with all these others. So, well, we'll go down the line. We'll go south to north, so there won't be much southern input. But
Do it up. Do it up.
I'm gonna do it up. I think it looks really pretty. My head is sticking around my phone, and it's like a light copper color, huh? It's not like really dark, but it's clear, bubbly, a little bit Well, let's see.
It's well, I'll let you talk. But I was gonna say I don't think it's anywhere near as charged in carbonation as the Boston Lager at all.
I see some stray bubble streams, and don't see any particulate matter. So it looks kind of like their Oktoberfest beer, which is a lager, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with the aroma. I'm gonna give you, and then I'm gonna give you the aroma and taste, and we'll go down the line. It's kind of spicy in the nose, like I'm picking up malt and some nice hop, flowery notes, maybe. Yeah, like almost an English. Now there's a good description on their website of the type of barley and hops they use. If somebody wants to read that out.
Hop varieties: East Kent Goldings and Fuggles, malt variety, Samuel Adams' own 2-row pale malt blend, and Caramel 60. This is supposedly 34 IBUs, and it's 5.4%. And they even go as far as telling you you're drinking 188 calories per one of these bottles. So there you go.
Pretty good amount of calories. I'll tell you what. It really does have that English style, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The taste is like bread crust, barley, a nice mild bitterness. And if I was drinking this, I would not even guess that the IBUs are 34.
Yeah.
I would maybe think the alcohol is 5.4. That's the same as, isn't that the same as Negro Modelo, or is that 5.2? Something like that.
It's around that range, you're right. It might be 5.2.
Sounds about right.
The mouth feels kind of like medium.
There you go.
Finish is. I'm even picking up. I almost said it tastes like it had a little bit of corn in the back taste, but I know that can't be right.
I don't get corn.
Well, to me, it's really good. I love this beer. I think it's better than the Boston Lager, although I do like the Boston Lager. What do you think, Paz? You're closest south to. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me cut you off. John, you're closest south to me.
I really enjoy this, and I enjoy this more than I do the Boston Lager. I'm kind of an ale fan. I think you can taste the caramel notes in this beer. Mine's a little warm. I let mine just warm up a little bit just to try to get some different taste out of it. I pre-gamed one that was cold. I wanted to try one that was a little warmer. And as it warms up, I think you can get that corny, breadish taste towards the end as it goes down. But overall, I think it's an appealing beer. I mean, I really enjoy it. I mean, if I wish it wasn't so hard to find, I'd probably enjoy it more. But I mean, it's just an all-around good beer.
Yeah,
I wish it was more readily available than the Boston Lager.
Yeah, and sometimes you can find stores will have a sale on it for like $7.99 a 6-pack.
I went to 7 or 8 different package stores and finally found it in one. I went to 2 different states.
Wow.
It really is not widely distributed, is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
Well, last week you said you would not buy again. What did we do last week? We did the.
Oh, that's right. What was that we done last week?
And I said, would you buy it again? And you said no.
We did Grolsch.
Grolsch.
I was so hurt. No, but but what would you buy this one again?
Yes, I would. Yeah, I bought a whole 6-pack of it. So yeah, I'm gonna drink all 6 of them. I mean, this is like I said, I've had it before. I really enjoy it then. I enjoy it more now, and I would prefer this over the lager any day. I wish some of the other guys that was really the Sam Adams lovers would have joined in on this, but I know they're not going to. But
oh yeah,
I really enjoy this beer.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you mean. I am starting to pick up a little bitterness now.
Yeah.
More than before.
Once it warms up, you're gonna pick up the bitterness and the other things. I mean, I think it's got a little corn taste towards the end, I think.
And you know what this smells like to me? It smells a little bit like that Robinson's Iron Maiden Trooper beer.
Never had that one.
Kind of.
I like a lighter version of it, maybe.
That little lemony thing. Yeah, but the Trooper's lower alcohol than this. Is 4.7. Yeah. Oh, Poznansky. Lee Poznansky. If you ever get a chance, I would try the Iron Maiden Trooper, but it's extremely expensive. So it's a real rip-off.
Yep.
But they had it at this one store for $8.99 a 4-pack.
Oh, a 4-pack.
A 4-pack. So I bought it. I was like, wow. And then
that's a good deal.
I know, because usually it's like $6.50 for a single bottle or can, which is a total rip-off.
That is.
I mean, even though it's a wonderful beer, it's like, but no way it's worth that. Now, Mr. Lee Poznansky, what Poznansky's beer reviews. What do you think about this beer?
Well, I mean, I like both lagers and ale,
Mm-hmm.
so they're pretty much evenly matched for me because I like them both in different ways. But this almost reminds me of if you have ever had that Yingling, the Yingling, because of the caramel malts in it. That's what it almost tastes like a little bit to me.
Yingling.
But I really love that caramelly malt taste for my ales.
Caramel, yeah, I get a little bit like a toffee almost, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me invite Friar Tuck back. I think he got disconnected. You know how that goes. That might be him trying to contact me.
Oh.
What happened? What happened? All right. Hey, what about the bitterness? What the hell's... Oh, excuse my language, folks.
Turning notifications off.
Oh,
Save.
Nate,
Sorry.
I might have to head out. Okay, Nate, now you have to leave. Tell us what you think right now.
I've had this about a week ago. I think the first time I had it at Doyle's down the street from the Sam Adams Brewery in Boston. And I think the only difference here is I think they actually served it at a slightly warmer temperature, so we did get some different types of flavors out of it as opposed to out of the bottle. At first, I'm using the Sam Adams Boston Lager glass that they developed. They have some specific designs here to force the carbonation upwards. So when I poured it in, it did have a pretty substantial head at the top of it. But as you can see, it definitely died down. I think the sweetness you're tasting, the corn sweetness, is probably just sweetness from the malt. That'd be my guess, but
Well, I know they're not using corn because they would certainly say it. They would.
Right.
Now, if you did a blind taste test, do you think you could tell this from the lager, the Boston lager?
I think you could.
I think it would be difficult.
Absolutely.
I think it would be very difficult.
I think I could actually. I think there's more hops in the lager than there are in this one, to be honest.
yeah.
Or at least aroma hops.
Well, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you guys later.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Take care, buddy. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, they
All right, we'll see you later.
the Boston Lager and according to the Sam Adams website, the Boston Lager and the Boston Ale both use Sam Adams 2-row pale malt blend and caramel 60. So they both are using that same base flavor to give it that nice, rich caramel, sweet malt flavor. So they both share that, together.
And I think the aroma is where you could really tell them apart.
Yes.
So if you took a good whiff of it, you'd say, "Oh yeah, this is the ale, man." Now, Friar Tuck, you got disconnected, and we're sorry about that. But you froze up. But what do you think about this beer?
I like it. Really decent beer. Got decent color, decent head, decent lacing. And I'd buy it again. I think I paid like $8.99 for it.
I think that's about what I get for mine, $8.99.
Yeah.
Which for the beer, I mean, it's a comparable price. I mean,
Some people slag on Samuel Adams like, that's like, low-level craft beer. Like nobody
I
respects.
love Sam Adams.
I don't think that's really nice to say that it's low-level craft beer. It's like fake craft beer and all. But Eric, what do you think about it?
I am enjoying this beer entirely. I think they sort of call it a stock ale.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about I think you were talking about the Trooper Ale. I know that's not really a pale ale, but this is kind of what this is reminding me of. Just a nice English pale ale where it has those very well pronounced malty notes. That's the main flavor I'm getting out of this, is that nice sweet pale malty caramel flavors.
Yeah, it reminds me of Bass Pale Ale.
Yeah, in the same way that, just as you were going to say there with the Bass Pale Ale, it's got a little bit of that light, like citrusy kind of a fruit quality to it, and there's a little bit of that toasted, sort of a malty note. But to me, it's got a little bit of like an earthy hop. It's a little bit roasty in the malt, and it does have a little bit of a citrusy note. It's nice.
It's sort of like a milder version of maybe Fuller's London Pride.
Yeah, and I would definitely say, again, considering the Boston Lager uses similar ingredients, and they actually use similar looking, have similar color to them, I think the ale over the lager definitely has a fuller and richer mouthfeel than that. I think that the lager is a little bit smoother and creamier, not creamier, but it's just smoother overall going down than the ale. The ale definitely has a little bit more of a heft and a weight to it. But it's all done appropriately. It's not too much, not too little of anything. I think it's done just right.
Yeah, and people might ask me, well, what would you prefer? Well, I would prefer to drink about 3 of these, and then the next day drink 3 lagers, and then the next day drink 3 more of these, and then the next drink 3 more lagers. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't really favor one over the other, although I guess if you press me on it, I might say, okay, I prefer the Boston Ale. It's like a hidden little jewel in the Samuel Adams world that a lot of people don't know about.
And it's just as old, if not a little bit older.
yeah.
No, wait a minute. Samuel Adams Boston Lager came out in '84, and this came out in '88, so this one is a little newer, but it's pretty old. Now,
newer.
I said it was a stock ale. Okay, that's interesting. Because there's that beer from, what is it, North Coast Brewing? It's called Old Stock. What is that called?
Yeah, Old Stock Ale.
Old stock.
Now that stuff's really strong, but the flavors kind of remind me of that beer in a way. It's like, this would be like half the strength of that. I have one in the fridge that I'm aging. It's kind of like, and every year don't they come out with a new vintage like the 2015?
Yes.
Stock Ale, 2014. I think I have a 2013. 2 bottles or whatever that I'm aging, but this kind of reminds me of that, although it's much milder. But some of the flavors cross over.
But they're different styles, though, aren't they, Jay?
Yes. Old stock, and this is just stock.
Well, this is considered an English pale ale, I guess, according to Beer Advocate.
English pale ale.
Well, if you look at 3 or 4 different websites, not like old, they give you 3 or 4 different versions of what this beer is.
Yeah.
And the old stock is considered an old style ale, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Calls it an amber ale. They call it an amber ale. This beer.
Yeah, I would call this an amber ale. Or an ESB, or an ESB.
It's definitely, to me, and I think they probably made it that way. It's definitely British in style, in some way, shape, or form. It's definitely got the British qualities to it. It's definitely the British side of the bitterness. It's not an American, citrus.
Oh, no. Right. It kind of reminds me of, a British beer. That's why people rip on Shipyard Brewing, because their beers are more British style, and so people aren't used to drinking that, so they'll say, oh, that stuff's not, it's not like all this stuff, but then they'll name all the other ones that they drink, and I'll say, yeah, but those are California style beers, and you're comparing Shipyard, and their stuff is like what you would get from England, because their stuff was developed in collaboration with English people, so.
Yeah, I love all the California and really big IPAs and stuff, but I think the problem with a lot of craft beer drinkers is the fact that they're always looking for the next biggest and boldest thing. We got to just figure out how to shove more hops into a beer, more ABV and alcohol into a beer, and we forget that even if this company is as giant as it is, they're not, for the most part, putting out a junky product that they are not proud of putting out.
Oh, no.
Say what you want about the summer ale, but I like this beer a lot here.
It's a mass-produced craft beer. That's what Samuel Adams beers are. They're mass-produced craft beers.
Correct. That's right.
I hate to say that to make people mad, but that's exactly what they are. I mean, they're mass-produced craft beer. But if you get on Beer Advocate, it says it's an English pale ale, and on Rate Beer, it says it's a amber ale.
Oh. Now, Miss Sharon, you said she was gonna join us this week.
Oh, hi! I got blueberry vodka.
Yeah, we haven't gone up to the vodka reviews yet. Now.
Oh,
Sorry. This is for 4th of July.
That's all right.
She's making Jello shots for the 4th.
Oh boy.
Oh, buddy.
That's all right, because I work with a lot of people that are very big into vodka. Some too big into vodka. Oh, now John, you did like me and you made a clean sweep of your face, huh?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
No.
All right. And Eric hasn't done a clean sweep. Now, but Eric's probably going to do a clean sweep.
Never.
But
I really enjoy this beer. I think it's just a great beer. I think the warmer it gets, the better it gets. I think.
But you wouldn't want to drink it hot, though.
No, I don't think you'd want to drink it hot. I think you'd want to drink it not cold, but not hot.
Room temperature.
Room temperature.
If this beer has flaws, I want to know what they are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
You're going to say.
I don't taste the flaw of this beer.
The flaw of this beer is the connotation that the name Sam Adams brings up, but we already mentioned that. That's the only flaw anybody could give you, and that's not really a good determination that this beer itself tastes bad.
Yeah, that's just people being haters, man.
That is the problem with a lot of beer reviews and people typing in, Bud Light beer review or something like that on the internet. All of it's preconceived notions, and if you're already going into a beer review knowing that you don't like that beer, then there's no point of you trying to review this beer if it's not going to be, an honest and fair review that you're doing.
No, it's not a review. It's a slam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to me, I think people could nitpick this beer, like I was talking about the corn. But that's just an aspect of it. I don't think this beer has anything wrong with it. I could drink this all the time. I would not get tired of it. I really enjoy it. I'm glad I drank it again because it's been so long. I mean, it's been years since I had it. And
Yeah.
I think it's just delicious, man.
Mm-hmm.
So my opinion is everybody should try. Everybody who's interested in beer should try Samuel Adams Boston Ale. Unfortunately, one of our panel members joined once and he dropped out because he said he was drinking too much and he had to give it up. That was you might have seen the video, but anyway.
Who was that?
Well, he says he's got a few more videos to post, but there won't be any new ones because the fun hobby was turning into a bad life problem.
Oh.
Is he in Ohio?
Oh boy.
He hasn't done the video yet. No, it's a guy in actually it's a guy in Nebraska.
Oh, that's right. I do
I
remember.
told him, I said, I'm sorry that happened. He said, well, it wasn't worth it, you know. So I commented on that Monday night when we did a little video with a guy, and I said, you know, it's tasting the beers and drinking them and talking about them is fun, right? But when people are sending me private messages talking about, oh, I got really drunk, man, I'm really starting to get kind of worried about it. I'm thinking, well, you know, if you're worried about it, that's a problem, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
I would be really worried about it. You know, it's like, wait a minute, this thing's gotten out of hand, so you need to dial it back. But I'm not up here to make a big sermon about don't drink a lot. I think everybody with a brain knows that already.
Drink responsibly.
Right.
Unless you're New Orleans.
What?
Unless you're New Orleans.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that y'all came to New Orleans and you drank too much?
Every day.
Big ass beers, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, before we get off of this, now you had an interesting experience down there because you did some beer shopping with me, but you ended up not buying anything because you had limited space in the vehicle, right? Like y'all had to bring back all your luggage, right? You had four people.
Yeah.
Couldn't exactly fill a trunk up with beer.
Yeah.
And you went to one place and you thought the owner was rude, like the soup Nazi or something. You said.
I mean, they had a good supply of beer, but not a lot of it was stuff we couldn't get here. And we asked the guy if he had any Cantillons, and he goes, "Well, we all had at least a 4 or 6 pack apiece we was buying." And he goes, "Well, if that's all you're gonna buy," he goes, "you're not gonna get any Cantillons." I thought, I mean, we can buy them around here every once in a while, you know. Went to Florida and picked up 2, you know. What a butthead. Real butthead.
I hadn't been to Stein's Deli in months, but I'm gonna probably go back. But he's something else, him. But even though he's what did you say, the highest rated beer store on Beer Advocate?
Yeah. But
when you have a sign hanging up in your store, be nice and leave. Well,
yeah.
Hey, but
we was nice. We bought a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, but y'all had a lot of fun, and you said most of the people you saw drinking down in New Orleans were drinking Bud Light and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yep. But my God, you can get 2 16-ounces for like $5. I mean, why not?
Right, and then they had that one store on Royal Street. We kept going in. Remember, it was $1 for the big tall cans.
Yeah. Yes.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought a Mickey's, and I was drinking. But then they almost had remember that crazy guy was wanting to fight the owners?
Yeah. Yeah.
He said he was going to stab the people, and he was going to cut them and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want to say one more thing. This beer is certified kosher. I don't know if that matters to anybody. Now, Poznansky, does that have any impact on you, or you don't care, or what?
I mean, I come from a Jewish family, but, I mean, to me personally, doesn't matter if it's kosher or not kosher.
I was just curious.
I did not know that Samuel Adams were certified.
I like kosher pickles.
Oh, here it is. Wait,
Yeah.
is that it?
They have a kosher insignia down there.
Yeah, right here. I never even noticed that.
Government warning label. Right next to
I'm noticing this, and you're not. But
Is that the star with a K in it?
yep,
right here.
that is not the only kosher certification that. Yep, that's right. The most typical one you'll see is the little U sign with a circle around it.
Yeah.
That's the most common kosher insignia.
Now I guess I'm probably gonna look stupid, but what does that mean, Jay?
You shouldn't feel stupid because you don't know if you don't ask. I'm gonna let
Yeah.
Poznansky explain that because although I could, of course I could explain.
What about the U?
No, he wanted to know what that means when a beer is certified kosher.
Blessed by
Made
a
with-
rabbi.
It's well, not just that. I mean, it's made with kosher ingredients. Kosher is the way you prepare certain things
To what? For
to
what purpose?
to the god of that religion. Like kosher is for Jews, unless like Muslims, halal is the way they prepare for their religion. For Jews, it's like if it's kosher, it's been blessed by a rabbi. The meat or the ingredients in the beer is kosher.
In other words,
Prepared correctly.
John, if you read in the Old Testament in the Bible, there's like a real intricate explanation of foods that were considered approved for the Hebrews to eat, and then there was foods that were considered not approved or not kosher, and that was the word kosher, like meaning from, and it might come from the word Cohen, maybe from like the priests. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but what they do is the brewery will say, okay, we want our beers to be certified kosher, and then there would be this union of rabbis. They'll come in and they'll say, okay, you got to prepare it this particular manner with these particular ingredients, and then they'll look at it and make sure it's done according to that way, and they'll certify kosher. Now, Poznansky's saying in his case he's not really interested, he doesn't care either way. But some Orthodox Jews that practice what do they call it? Keeping kosher, I think.
For like to observe kosher. Yeah, just they keep kosher.
Right, so it means something to them. So they would go maybe down the beer aisle and look, and they would say, oh, it's kosher, so they would buy it. Otherwise, they would not purchase it.
Yeah, most beers happen to be kosher, though. The ingredient. Most beers, not all, but actually most beers, in fact, I would say all beers aren't kosher for Passover.
Or not, or are.
Well, I'll tell you
Or
what,
not kosher.
I got a real good lesson here today, and I really never even noticed that, and I appreciate it, guys.
You're welcome. I was talking to people in the grocery store one day, and they had no clue what I was talking about. But then they said, oh, yeah, they had seen that symbol before, but they just had never, they didn't know what it meant. But I went and looked it up. See, I like to find out things. But anyway, this beer, to me, is really good. My final comment is I really like it, and I would recommend everybody to try it.
I would agree with that statement.
Amen.
Even if you only like macro companies, these kind of beers are a pretty good step up from those like Coors,
The
Budweiser.
flavors are very accessible. They're not. Nothing is too, pinkies out when it comes to most Sam Adams beers. They're very easy to drink and enjoy by almost anybody.
Right, like if you had a party, the craft beer people would like it, and then people that like regular, macro beer would probably like it.
Yeah, like a middle ground.
Right. The only people that would hate it would be like your ultra craft snobs or your ultra light beer drinkers who think everything stronger than Miller High Life Light is nasty.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that just drinks High Life, and that's all he drinks. And if I give him a Boston Lager, he'd be like, thanks, but I'll just drink High Life, thanks.
I know a guy that only drinks Stella, and everything other than that is terrible.
Only Stella, all right.
Only Stella, and he hates me that I gave Natural Ice a better grade than Stella.
Oh,
That is comical. Well, any last comments?
I enjoyed the beer. I give it an A+. I mean, I think and I'm like you guys, it'd be a good transition beer for anybody out there that want to transition over to a craft beer, if you can find the beer.
If you can find it, thank you.
Yeah.
This cost me $14 for a 6-pack.
what?
Yep.
Oh no, that's a crime. That's highway robbery. You got clipped. Hey, look.
Welcome to New York City.
Yeah, well,
What's everybody paid on these?
well, I bought a single. It was like $1.29.
November 2015, my date.
October.
Oh, the date.
October.
Oh, the date. Mine's August this year.
November this year.
October 2015. Bought it yesterday.
Well,
There you go.
we have another. Yeah, what I was going to say is it's terrible. This beer that we just drank should be in every beer store in America that sells anything like craft beer.
It's awesome.
Of course.
To to have this beer available in only 20% of the stores is terrible. Samuel has to get on the ball. Stop worrying about some of that bullcrap beer they put out and make this.
Jay, it's one of those beers that they really highly publicize just for a short time and it just like dropped off the face of the planet.
Yeah, because they got into all those stuff. You know, I drink some of Samuel Adams stuff like that Cold Snap White IPA.
Yeah.
This beer beats that so bad.
Cold Snap is nasty.
Cold Snap.
Yeah, I've gotten some of their seasonal mix packs, and I have not been impressed with a lot of their stuff that's in them. Even their IPAs and that, I haven't been overly impressed when they're dull.
Yeah, I tend to find because Sam Adams is so easy just to get in my neck of the woods. I'm 40 minutes south of Boston, but it's so easy to just try all these different Sam Adams beers, and you start to notice, at least I do, that every year all of these seasonals that they have out, especially I've noticed the summer ale, changes every single year. The flavors seem to change every single year, although it's the same exact recipe. I'm not sure why it seems like they change, but they seem to be inconsistent.
I don't know, and that's not a good sign.
No, that summer ale's not.
Well, that's a sign of brewing in different places by different people.
Probably, yeah, I didn't think about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it shouldn't come out like that. Now,
Right.
Now on July 8th next week, we're looking at another fascinating beer. I think is Samuel Adams Cream Ale. Cream Stout.
I think cream stout or cream ale.
Cream stout.
I said it wrong at the beginning. Cream Stout Ale. Cream Stout. Stout Ale.
Okay.
I have one in the fridge, and it's pretty common here. They just got some at Mathern's the other day. A bunch of 6-packs.
Use your beer locator.
That beer locator is really helpful because it'll tell you what stores carry it.
It helped me. It helped me on both of these. It helped me with the Boston Ale, and it helped me with the cream stout. The first store I went to didn't have it on the list that was closest to me. I went in there. The guy said, "Oh no, we don't." He goes, "Might be getting it in." Then I went to the second store that was on the list, and they had it. So
definitely check out that locator. So Samuel Adams Cream Stout, which to me is a fantastic beer. I mean, I could taste it right now. I want to go drink it, but I'm going to save it. All right. Then on the 15th, we have Ice House Edge, an imperial lager.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one because I want to do a review with that. What's that one guy's name that did it with you the last time?
Metal Troy.
Black Metal Troy.
Let me go try this Natty Daddy.
Yeah.
So here's what I thought about the Natty Daddy.
Hey, you know, the more I thought about that video, that did not project the image. I don't want to encourage alcoholism and whatnot. So I'm going to talk to Troy, and I'm going to say, Black Metal Troy, I want you to join us, but I want you to know where you are when you join us. Not to be picky.
Wow.
And I think you'll go along with that.
I think so.
Then on the 22nd, we have Sierra Nevada Torpedo, which to me is a modern classic.
Yeah, love that one.
And then on the 29th, we have Victoria Beer, the oldest beer brand from Mexico, which I think I have one can left, and I'm looking forward to drinking that, boy.
Just tried it this year.
Y'all can all get Victoria, I bet you, huh?
I'm going to have to overpay for that. It'll probably be like close to the price of this anyways.
Too high for that.
Yeah, I know, but if I'm going to join in, that's the only, I've seen it for I think the lowest I've seen is 8 and change.
But look, try to go to one of these big grocery stores. They've been selling it in 12 packs of cans lately.
Really?
A lot of your Walmarts and Myers. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what Myers is, but I mean a lot of now is selling like beers like that in singles.
Well, I bought a 12-pack for $11.99.
Not in Connecticut.
Well, not in Connecticut. I bought it in Metairie, Louisiana. Well, anyway,
Walmart grocery stores don't typically sell beer in Connecticut.
Nope.
Yeah, well, everybody sells beer in Louisiana. Everybody who has a store.
Well, awesome. Woo!
That's the truth right there.
John knows that. We have drive-through
big can.
Huh?
$1 for a big can.
Oh yeah, we have drive-through daiquiri shops. Now,
drive-through daiquiris.
That's right. Well, this was a fascinating video, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we will see everybody, we plan on it at least, to see y'all next week for Samuel Adams Cream Stout.
Can't wait.
Which is a little lower alcohol. It's only 4.9. So that's the kind of beer you could really session, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I think you really session these things pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I drank 3 of them, I would just be smashed.
So, before we all go, I'd like to say Happy 4th of July to you all, and don't be private messaging, getting drunk, and being stupid on the roads out there. Don't do it.
Oh, no.
Happy 4th of July to everybody out there.
Happy 4th of July, guys.
Yeah, everybody have a good weekend and behave and do the right thing and take care and enjoy drinking beer.
And letting off fireworks.
Letting off fireworks.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
All right.
Good night, folks.
Good night, guys.